Hey friends, Janky here, and welcome back to another episode of Odyssey! Yay! The scientific adventure puzzle game. Last time we left off, we were just getting into the upper echelons of the tower here, learning about sun and constellations and moons and things. Well, our moon specifically, not just any moon, but good stuff. So, we're about to learn, I guess, about ellipses. Eclipses, not ellipses, sorry. Anyway, so now by turning the crank, we can make both eclipses, the moon casting its shadow on Earth, and the Earth casting its shadow on the moon. And each opens one of two doors. So that's cool. Which one am I trying to get to? After dinner, I asked Dad about proving Earth was a sphere. Okay, this is a lot of really cool stuff that's happening off to the side, and as I've said before, I would totally be into it if it weren't for the fact that this takes a while to read. Interesting. Flat Earth. Right. How the flat Earth casts a thin vertical stripe on the moon. Right. So it's impossible for the Earth to be flat because it wouldn't cast a full shadow on the moon. Interesting. It was a little windy last night. A whole bunch of other stuff. Aristotle. It seems strange to me that Aristotle could be so clever in some ways, but also believe things that were so wrong. It's true. Aristotle. Poor Aristotle. Things weren't as obvious then. That's a good point. That's a good thing to point out. Okay. So these will open doors. Okay. So we just create the eclipses and it'll open doors. So that should open one of the doors. Lunar Eclipse. Okay, sweet. Oh. Oh. 20 kilograms. Tell me more, tell me more. Oh, this looks like some sort of riding thing. Okay. Well, let's figure it out then. Okay, let's look at this model. Ah. Okay, so this model proves that the Earth can't be flat. Sweet. That's what we needed to do. So now we have a key. I assume it's to this weight. Okay, so we release the weight. And that, I assume, does something when it gets to the base. Ah. Interesting. What a sweet system. Okay, so we change places with weight. We ride it down. I have no feet. I have no feet. Oops. Go ahead and climb down. There we go. Okay. So here's our bridge. Ooh. Gotta go down the stairs. Okay, so let's take a look at this bridge. Hand crank. Well, I don't have a hand crank. Okay, what's down here then? A generator. Okay. Let's go back up top then. Maybe we'll need to turn on the generator at some point. I'm not sure. But for now, let's take a look-see about and see what there is to see. Okay, so that generator does something. Ah, okay. More journal entries. Okay, cool. So we crossed over the fixed rotating bridge this morning. Sweet. But we found we still couldn't get over the main part of Wretched Minor. There was another bridge we needed to cross, but it was broken too. The first bridge took almost a week to repair, and Mom thinks this one might take longer. A zip line leading here from the bunker island was easy to fix, and Sid took care of that first thing. It worked great. My ankle's still swollen and hurting too much for anyone to help me up to the top of the bunker over and over, so I only got to ride it once so far. Sad. Okay, this bit of Wretched Minor has a couple shacks on it, with nothing but some barrels and stables. There's an old well with an army grate. An exciting part is a tall radio tower. We still can't figure out how to reach it. Sid has a theory, though. We can rotate the bridge from this side so it doesn't connect back to the bunker island, and when we do, it connects to the steps leading down to a small lagoon. Sid dove in and said the steps led to a door, but he couldn't open it with all the water pushing against it. Oh, he thinks it might lead to the tower. We have a sump pump, and Mom says we might empty the lagoon later and see, but she can tell high tide will just fill it up again, so we'll have to be careful. Okay. When the bridge turned away from Bunker Island, some other stuff. The 2 shacks are your new base. Makes sense. In case anyone figures out the 2 combination locks in the bunker, Mom put a padlock on the zip line and has only 1 key. At night, we rotate the bridge away, and this makes Dad feel secure. I think he's being paranoid, but whatever. Tells us people do sail by it from time to time, but everyone knows it's dangerous because of all the rocks. Okay. I was thinking about how stars follow circular paths in the sky. If the stars were doing the moving, they would all have to go at different speeds, depending on how far away they were from the pole star, to keep the same distances from each other and not get scrambled. RPM. Kind of. That sounds magical, and I wondered how Aristotle would explain it if the Earth were stationary at the center of the universe. Isn't it much simpler for one thing, the Earth, to spin instead of thousands of stars to move the other direction, all at different speeds, but staying perfectly synchronized? Dad told me Aristotle said all the stars were embedded in the surface of a celestial sphere made of ether. Ether moves in circles and all that other stuff. Okay. Sid and I have been watching the stars ever since we got to Wretched Island, and I've noticed they're a little higher each night when they appear after sunset. It's like they're rising a bit sooner each day. Ah, right, because that's the tilt of the Earth. And Dad says they'll get back to where they were when they started a year from now. Right, okay. So that's all of that stuff. I rubbed paint thinner on a plastic globe I had, and when the paint came off, the globe itself was transparent, so I used it to build a model of the celestial sphere with stars rotating in the middle. Where is the thing that I'm looking for? Heliocentric model. Ah, right. The heliocentric model of the universe. Okay, here we go. At one point, when the Earth was tipped most toward the sun, the light hit the highest latitude in the northern hemisphere. Then, as the Earth orbited the sun, the laser pointer moved south, crossed the equator, and when the Earth was on the opposite side of the sun, tipped most away, the laser hit the lowest latitude in the southern hemisphere. Cool. So you're showing equinox and solstices. Next, the sun reached its lowest point and went on the winter solstice directly over the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. The celestial spheres didn't explain the change of season, so they tilted it. They tilted the geocentric model. That makes sense. Okay. So what are we trying to do here? Like that? Oh, we're trying to find like a combination of things? Oh. Oh. Okay. What combination, though? Hold on. Let me go back to the journal here. Okay. Next, the sun reaches lowest point at winter solstice directly over the Tropic of Capricorn, which is the lower one. Right. And what was the other thing you had highlighted? When the Earth was on the opposite side of the sun, tipped most away, the laser pointer hit its lowest altitude in the southern hemisphere. Okay. There we go. There's the connection. Okay, more journal pages. This will probably explain whatever this is. Alright, let's take a look. Jupiter, Cyrus, a whole bunch of stuff about the planets, which is super cool. Yes, really awesome. Okay, here we go. Dad said Aristotle thought the moon was a perfectly smooth sphere. Magnified with a telescope, I could see that it's not. The moon's surface has mountains and valleys. It's not perfectly flat and smooth at all. Mom asked how I could be sure that's what I was seeing, and I told her to look at the boundary between the light and dark parts on the moon. If the moon was a sphere with no bumps, the dark edge would be smooth, but the real moon shadow was jaggy. There was also dark patches in the lit region showing the light wasn't getting there. There were probably valleys or craters, and there were some bright spots in the dark spot part. That was probably where the sun hit only the tops of mountain peaks, but not the bases, because the moon horizon blocked sunlight from hitting the bases of the mountains. Makes sense. Then Dad asked Mom about solar filters for the telescope so we could look at the sun. I think he was just trying to change the subject, but I also really want to look at the sun. Guillermo dropped a sandwich when he heard that. He works hard and seems nice, but he doesn't talk much, except this time he suddenly had a lot to say about how you can never look at the sun, especially not through a telescope. It could blind you. We have special filters that make it possible to look at the sun without hurting your eyes. And that's what the sun looks like, I assume, which is also important. The sunspots are always on the sun itself, and they look to be imperfections on the sun that appear and then later disappear. Tell me more about life and... Oh my goodness. Okay. Jupiter has moons orbiting it too. Yes, that's very true. Viewing a planet through a telescope turned it into a round disk, but stars still looked like stars and didn't get bigger. Interesting. That said, yes, every star is so far away that it looks that it's like its light is coming from a single point in space. And when the light enters the Earth's atmosphere, the Earth scatters a little. So it's very hard to actually see what a star actually looks like. Excellent point. The moon is not smooth in a perfect sphere. The sun is not eternal and unchanging. It has spots on it that will appear and disappear. Ptolemy said everything orbited the Earth only, but Jupiter has moons orbiting it. And then stars appear the same in telescopes. Sweet. So we can use that. Okay. We have to use that because some of the sunspots are outside the sun on that. Stars look like stars. And the moon is jaggy. Oh. Not magnified, right. They don't get magnified. Sweet. Is this a thing, or like, is that just sort of chilling there? Right. Whatever. Let us follow the strand. Okay, it looks like it goes up. Looks like it goes up. And through here. Sweet. There's more to be done. More journal pages. Well, I think I'm going to end this episode here. So I hope you guys enjoyed yet another episode of Odyssey with me, Janky Shenanigans. If you did, you can totally leave a like down below. Comments, positive or negative, you can leave those below as well. More than anything, I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or whenever you're going to be watching. And I hope this is being very informative about space and how space works and eclipses and such. If you play this game yourself, you can read a lot more about it in the journal entries. I'm just skimming them, unfortunately, but it is super cool. So, I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or whatever you have to be watching. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this is Janky Shenanigans, signing out. Hey friends, hope you liked the video. If you did, you can find more of my content in the links off to the left here. And if you really like my content, you can become part of the year of 1,000 subs here on the channel and use that button down below to subscribe. But more than that, I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next video.